There are five things you must invest in if you want to become rich. Now, when you talk about the word invest, most people limit it to you just investing in financial instruments that causes your money to go. That's what they think the word invest means. But it goes way beyond that. Invest means to putting your time, your energy, your resources, your finances into something that will give you a better return in the future. So when we talk about five things you must invest in, these five things will produce the type of results that you've never seen in your life if you put in your time, your energy, your effort, and your resources into them. Now, the first thing and the most important one that you must invest in is your mindset. Because wealth and riches is a state of mind. Poverty is also a state of mind, meaning the way you think will determine what your life will produce, whether it's abundance or whether it's lack. So a person who's constantly thinking thoughts of lack based on what they're feeding their mind will always produce lack. And a person who's constantly thinking thoughts of riches and wealth will always produce abundance. And the most important way that you can use to really change your mindset is by feeding your mind with knowledge that you don't currently have. So what am I talking about? Reading books. There are far too many people who rely on old knowledge to determine their future outcome. All right. So you must understand that if you're going to change your mindset, you have to change the information that you're putting in to get a different outcome. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of lottery winners, and I need you to pay close attention to this, a lot of lottery winners, maybe 90-something%, go from having a lot of money to a worse off condition is because of their mindset. See, before they came across a lot of money, they had a certain way of thinking about money, which caused them to be in a position of lack in the first place. Now, suddenly, you give that person $1,000,000 and you think their lifestyle or their life is going to change forever, for generations. That is wrong. It is wrong because they have money in their pocket, but their mind is still the same. So the moment they get the 10 million, the $100 million, you know what they do? They go out shopping. All right. They go out and start buying nice homes, which is okay. Go on a shopping spree, buying clothes, cars, all the material things. And they also start investing in things they don't understand. So you wonder why in the next 3 to 5 years, they are worse off in where they were before they had the money. The reason is because your mindset will always bring you back to the level that you're okay and comfortable with. So if you don't understand that your mind is an asset that you must invest in on a continuous basis, that you're not ready to become rich. You must read books. You must watch videos. You must attend events that will allow you to stretch your capacity to think and dream bigger. And only then can you put yourself on the pathway to becoming rich. The second thing is your network. One of my mentors once said that your network will equal your net worth, meaning that the people you associate with will determine how successful you'll become. So if the people that you associate with the most are extremely successful, doing well financially, it's only a matter of time before you join them. But if your network consists of people who are complaining, people who don't have money, always talking about lack, being broke all the time, the chances are you are one of them. And if you're not one of them yet, you will soon be one of them. Listen, one of the greatest things that I've discovered in my very short time on this planet Earth so far is that the people you associate yourself with will determine how successful you become. That's why you can't afford to call everybody your friends. That's why you must choose your friends and not allow your friends to choose you. All right? You can't be influenced by other people. There's a very unique and amazing Bible verse that I love so much. And it reads that he who walks with the wise will become wise, but the companion of fools will soon be destroyed. What does that mean? That if you walk with the wise over time, it's only a matter of time before you become wise, because you become like the people you associate yourself with. And if you associate with fools, or in this term, people who complain about lack, people who talk about being broke all the time, how nothing seems to be working out, it's only a matter of time before you become like one of them. So the most important thing you must do here is that you must begin to look at, all right, who are the people that I surround myself with? What do they talk about all the time? All right. Are they actually making a positive impact on my life, or they're depositing negativity? All right. And the reason why your network is so important is because they can open doors for you in places where you can't even get into. Their name and who they are, their reputation can cause things to happen on your behalf. I give you an example. Let's say I need $1 million for one of my business projects, and I walked into a bank and I say, hey, listen, I need $1 million. They may look at my assets and look, hey, do you have collateral that's equivalent to what you're asking for? You know, what is your experience? And I said, well, I don't really have that much experience. I don't really have collateral up to $1 million. They said, well, we can help you. All right. But if I say, wait, I have somebody that can co-sign for me, somebody in my network, and they say, well, who's the person that you have in your network that can co-sign for you? Oh, his name is Warren Buffett. Do you know that I will leave that bank with $1 million in my bank account? Why? Because I have somebody in my network that can vouch and co-sign for me that, hey, listen, if Depot defaults on that $1 million, I guarantee that I'm going to pay the $1 million on his behalf. That is the power of a network. You must choose the people that you allow into your inner circle, and don't allow people to choose you in that inner circle. Because the chances are you may be in an inner circle that's not going to help you to make progress in life. The third thing is marketable skills. Marketable skills. This is very critical in 2025 and beyond. See, gone are the days where you relied on your college degree, your master's, or your doctorate to get a good job. There are no more good jobs. As a matter of fact, there are college students right now that are graduating and they can't find jobs. They're working at department stores and they got thousands of dollars in student loan because they didn't develop skill set that will make them marketable. The assumption was you go to school, you get the good grades, you get the degree, and then you get a job. But unfortunately, in 2025, the world has changed. We're in a new era now. The new era is marketable skills. What skills do you have that are relevant in our times? See, look, in the next 5 to 10 years, like, there are people who won't be able to get a job at all because AI will take over literally the whole world. All right? Kids who are going to school today will not be able to get a job in the future. I guarantee you that. Why? Because now it's all about who has the most skills, unique skills that are marketable and relevant to what we're doing today in our world. So as an individual, you must ask yourself this question: what can I develop now? What can I start working on now to make me more valuable? Why? Because money follows value. Value attracts money. Okay? Value attracts money. If you're not skillful in something today, you're not learning AI and using that to help merge it with your current talents, your abilities, your passion, your business, and you think you're going to make it years down the road, you're in for a rude awakening. There are people who are losing their jobs today as we speak every single day because of what's changing in the economy. Their positions that are completely being eliminated because of robots and artificial intelligence. Your job may soon be one of them. But if you develop yourself and you're constantly looking, all right, what can I work on? What do I need to change in my mindset? What skills do I need to develop? Who do I need to have in my network to produce the kind of results that I'm looking for? It's impossible for you not to become relevant and become rich. You must understand that, all right? That you need to start learning new skills. Go and do some research, all right? And find out what can you work on. The fourth thing is your brand. Your brand, all right? Your name is your brand. When people mention your name, what is the first thing that comes to their mind, all right? What do I mean by brand? I mean your character. I'm talking about your integrity. Does your word carry weight and does it have value? When you say, I'm going to do something, do you execute? Or do people say, nah, man, he just talking. She's just talking. All right? Your word is your bond. Your name is a powerful force that can cause wealth and riches to come to you. All right? There are people today who have a lot of money in their pockets, but they have bad names. There are people who've been dead and gone for years and years ago, but if you mention their names today, it wreaks anger, frustration, and animosity. Why? Even though they had a lot of money, they have bad names. They're not rich. They just had money. Because your name is wealth in itself. There's another Bible verse in the book of Proverbs that says that a good name is better than riches. So in other words, if somebody places $1,000,000 before you right now, liquid cash in the bag, and then your name is right here, and they ask you, hey, listen, young man, listen, young woman, which one would you rather choose? Would you rather choose to have $1,000,000 or rather choose to have a good name? That Bible verse says always go for the good name because a good name is better than riches. Money cannot buy integrity. Money cannot buy character. That is why it is important and critical for you to always be a person of dignity, a person of character, a person of who's noble, right? Don't take bribes in your business, right? Don't do shady deals, okay? Don't do things that will cause harm to other people so that you can gain for yourself. That is a bad name. But when you develop a good name, man, good name can open doors for you. Good names can cause wealth and riches to come to you. Things that you've never imagined, but they just mention your name. I love that, brother. I love that sister because they stand for integrity. This is so critical, but a lot of people lack this. Listen, let me say this very clearly. You can have a lot of money, but if you have a bad name, you are a poor person. You are a bad person if you have a bad name. Your name must bring like joy to people, must cause people to think that, listen, I would like to be like this person because they stand for something, not because you're chasing money. All right. And we see a lot of people on social media today who are chasing money. Okay. They're chasing money. They're doing all sorts of things. They gain views and gain attraction. And they're doing so many crazy things just to make money, only to find out that the source of their money is bad. So they have a bad brand. They have a bad name. All right. And the last thing is income producing assets. I put this last because this is what most people put first. Most people put first investments, monetary things. What can I invest in? Depot, what can I invest in to make my money grow? What stocks should I buy? What crypto should I buy? What? Just tell me. That's good, right? But listen, if you don't have these other four to add to this, you're not really rich, my friend. All right, you're not really rich. So this right here is critical. And from a financial standpoint, it is the most important because you must be able to put your money into vehicles or do things that will cause your money to continue to grow. All right, I've just talked about some of them. Are you investing in stocks? Do you have an investment portfolio? Are you investing in crypto? All right, which is my favorite personally because I understand where the future is going. Okay, are you investing in real estate, mutual funds? What is it that you're putting your money into? Are you investing in assets or are you investing in liabilities? Which one is it? Because if you're investing in liabilities, you cannot go far. You will be a very poor person indefinitely, passing on generational poverty. If all your money is constantly going towards things that are not making you any money. So you must learn different investment vehicles that you can put money into to cause your money to grow. But here's a caution. Never you invest in things that you don't understand. That is why having the right people in your network is so critical. Because you can have a mentor or a financial advisor who has experience in the financial vehicles and they can tell you, hey, don't do this, do that, because they have experience. They can tell you what, the mistakes they've made so that you don't have to make them. Okay? That's why you need guidance on where to put your money. All right? You need that mentorship. So that way you don't make mistakes that people have made in the past. But ultimately, I will tell you this, that if you apply and you work on these 5 different things simultaneously, continuously, it is impossible for you not to become rich.